Just how good is Cedric Tillman of the Cleveland Browns? Well, after they traded away Amari Cooper, he lit up the stat sheet in week 7 through 9, but then after the bye, he started to slow down a little bit from a production standpoint. Well, we're going to take a look at his utilization, his advanced stats, and then break down what we've seen from him on film in the past couple of weeks to try to deduce just how good he is and what his specific strengths and weaknesses are. When we think about Cedric Tillman, we think of somebody that is a big wide receiver. He's 6'3", 213 pounds, and that's somebody that, based on that size profile, is likely to be used as an X wide receiver on the line of scrimmage, facing off against press coverage. But it's also somebody that could theoretically be used as a big slot for sure. Probably not going to be a flanker, but depending on their athleticism, could be. Well, when you take a look at his athleticism, his 4.54 40-yard dash was over the 50th percentile, so right around average, slightly above average. But because he is 6'3", 213 pounds, that gives him a 79th percentile speed score. That's height and weight adjusted speed. But then his burst is 79th percentile as well. And so what we get here is somebody that is decently fast, but really fast for his size with a lot of burst. He didn't do any of the agility drills. I suspect he probably isn't going to be the best, most agile short area athlete. Somebody that's 6'3", 213 pounds generally isn't going to be, but there are some exceptions. But he does have a 70th percentile catch radius. And so what we have here, based on this athletic profile with his size, is somebody that should be a dominant ball winner as an X wide receiver. And so, like I said earlier, Amari Cooper was traded away. This was before their week 7 game. And so he wasn't really getting a lot of the utilization that he would otherwise see because he directly filled the role of Amari Cooper. And so I'm going to take a look at week 7 through 12 when he was really given a chance to step up. In general, when somebody isn't able to produce because of somebody being better than them, that can be a sign that the person isn't very good. But when it's somebody that is Amari Cooper, especially considering the contract in which the Browns gave him, in my opinion, it's definitely understandable that he wasn't able, as a rookie, to just directly overtake him. When we take a look at week 7 through 12, I took a look at wide receivers who had at least 25 targets. That was 48 total wide receivers in this time frame. Tillman ran 206 total routes, which is 94.1% of his team's routes. Now, when we take a look at his utilization, like I said earlier, somebody that's 6'3", 213 pounds with this athletic profile is generally somebody that's likely to be used as an X wide receiver, but could definitely be used in the slot. And when we take a look at his utilization, that's exactly what you get. He plays 19.2% of his snaps from the slot and 80.8% out wide. So he's going to be their X wide receiver, taking over the Amari Cooper role. When we take a look at his yards per out run in this time frame, his 1.6 ranked 31st. So out of 48 wide receivers that had at least 25 targets, that definitely isn't that great. Taking a look at his PFF receiving grade, his 72.6 is 24th, so pretty much literally right in the middle of the pack. His yak per reception of 3.9 is tied for 23rd, so right around the middle of the pack. But his 9 missed tackles forced is second. You're going to see something on film. He is a very aggressive player in the open field. And so that is a legitimate stat that is not fluky. Taking a look at his 5 contested catches, that's tied for 16th. That's fine. Taking a look at his targets, his 41 are tied for 14th. His 26 receptions in this time frame are tied for 15th. His 330 receiving yards are 19th, and his 3 touchdowns are tied for 6th. And so what we have here is, out of players who have had at least 25 targets from week 7 through 12, he's right around middle of the pack in a majority of these statistics, but he really pops when you take a look at the missed tackles forced. And he's also scored 3 touchdowns in this time span, and so that was tied for 6th among the sample size. But what do we see from him on film? Let's take a look. All right, so on this first play I'm going to show you, Tillman's at the top of your screen. He is going to be running a dig. Pay attention to the smooth and sharp cut in which he has here, and then the tough catch through contact over the middle. The Ravens are going to be in cover 1 man here, so you're going to have man coverage throughout, and then you're going to have a deep center field safety, and then Roquan Smith's going to be in a zone underneath. It's a really good pass from Winston, and a really good catch through contact. All right, so notice how smooth he is. And then bam, right through the contact. Let's take a look in real time. Really smooth. And so, you would think, big body guy, smooth with his route running. He's a great option for the middle of the field where you can expect to be hit from time to time. And I really like the tough catch through contact here. Taking a look at the second play here, Tillman is going to run a slant. He is going to score on this play, and it's really impressive in my opinion. The Ravens are going to blitz, so they're going to loop him around, blitz both down linemen here, blitz the corner, and Roquan's going to blitz. This slot corner is going to get a free shot at Jameis, but Jameis, as we all know, isn't afraid of anything, and so he's going to hit Tillman in stride. So on the back end, you're going to have two deep thirds right here at the corners, as well as a deep third safety. This guy is going to creep up towards the line of scrimmage, which is going to work against him because Tillman's going to be right here. A couple things to note. Pay attention to how at the beginning of his route, Tillman presses the deep third corner here before cutting right inside. But then after he gets the ball, he runs straight towards the free safety in the middle of the field. The safety is going to try to go after his legs. He does not care whatsoever. He is going to go straight through him and right into the end zone. This play was thoroughly impressive. All right, so notice how he presses him right away and then cuts. Jameis is going to hit him right in stride, and then notice how he heads directly for the safety. And yeah, they're not going to stop him. We'll take a look in real time. Yeah, so I mean, he isn't the fastest, but you can make up for that by being incredibly decisive and tough. And so far, he has shown an incredible level of toughness to make that dig over the middle of the field through contact and then head straight for the free safety and truck right over him into the end zone. Very impressive. Taking a look at his second touchdown, Tillman is going to be running a deep over. The Ravens are going to be in cover 0, and so because Njoku and Chubb stand to block, everybody in this circle is going to be blitzing. And so what that does is it leaves Eddie Jackson one-on-one and man coverage against Tillman. My goodness, is he going to play this very poorly. And as a Ravens fan, yeah. So what he's going to do, and another thing I really like about Tillman, is he's really smart about how he attacks the person covering him. So on this play, he is going to run directly at Eddie Jackson and catch him completely flat-footed for a walk-in touchdown. We'll take a look. And so right here, notice how he is running straight at Eddie Jackson and then whoop, right behind him. Thank you. Easy touchdown. So we'll take a look from the top. I really like the get off the line, and I love how he paces his route to where he isn't going to have any idea what's coming while running straight at him. That leaves him in a precarious situation, and yeah, easy touchdown. If you like what you've seen and heard so far, feel free to like and subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. I love doing these player breakdowns where we take a look at utilization, advanced stats, and then break down what we see from these guys on film. So if you want to see more content like this, feel free to like and subscribe. And by the way, if there's somebody that you want me to make a video on, feel free to comment down below. Thanks. All right, taking a look at this play. Tillman is going to release off the line really slowly and then creep around for a corner route. The Bengals are going to be in a cover 3, so you're going to have deep third defender, and deep third defender. What he's trying to do is split the difference between this deep third defender here and the safety, who's also in a deep third. Now, Tillman's a 4-5 speed kind of guy, so, he's not excessively slow or fast. He's, right in the middle of the pack in general. The issue here is he's going against DJ Turner, who's a 4.26 speed cornerback, and so I really like the aspect of slowing down your route and then trying to burst as fast as you can to create separation, because when you're going against somebody that is basically at least 2/10 of a second faster than you in a 40-yard dash, it is going to be tough for you to create a ton of separation. The ball isn't going to be perfect here, and so he's not gonna be able to come down with it. But I really like the pacing of his route, and I'll show you what I mean. And so take a look at how he is going to slow play his release. He's just going to slowly go long and then burst. Like I said, he didn't end up coming down with it, obviously. And he was at such a disadvantage going against somebody that fast. But I really like the craftiness to his game. Now, not everything is great. There are some things on film, and this is going to be a drop. What the Browns are going to do is set a pick for Tillman, so he's going to run underneath while the tight end here runs into the flat and stops and sets a pick for him. He's going to be given a beautiful pass. However, he's just going to drop it, and I suspect it's due to the fear of the hit that was awaiting him, which happened regardless as to whether he caught it or not. So the Chargers are going to be in a cover 3 match, and so theoretically this is a deep third defender here, but he's going to act in man coverage against Tillman. He is going to get blocked by the screen that they're setting, though. However, this linebacker here is going to see what's going to happen, and he is going to hit him like a brick wall. The problem is, Tillman didn't drop the ball with the hit, or, better yet, hang on to it. He dropped the ball before the hit came, and I highly suspect it was because he was afraid of the hit. And so I'll show you what I mean. So right here, ball's in the air. It's coming straight to him. And you'll notice it was already out by the time that he was hit. And so obviously nobody wants to get hit over the middle of the field. No kidding. But I would like to see the concentration through the contact that is going to happen here. But overall, one drop, everybody drops a pass here and there. But that just is one criticism, is that at least on this specific play, in my opinion, I obviously can't go into his mind and know what he was thinking, but I do think that he was afraid of the hit that was coming. Taking a look at this play, Tillman is going to be running a fade route towards the end zone. It is going to be a touchdown. The Chargers are going to be in cover 3, so you're going to have deep third defender, and deep third defender. He's going against Cam Hart here. This play is going to be a really good example of his body control, catch through contact, and spatial awareness in order to somehow get his feet down. This is a thoroughly impressive catch. I'll show you right now. So I like the pacing of his route, and then I like that he sticks his arm in the defender's chest here to create just a little bit of space, then make sure that his feet are in, catches the ball through contact, and somehow gets his feet down, and then hangs on to it, and completes the process of the catch. Dude, holy crap. Look at this. Jeez. So, yeah, I love just the subtle way in which he separates himself just a little bit. You can see it right here. He has his arm right in the defender's chest just to make enough space for this ball to fit in. Beautiful. We'll take a look one more time in real time. Awesome catch. The final play we're going to take a look at here is a mixture of really good, hilarious, and then unfortunate. So Tillman is going to be running a dig. The Steelers are going to be in a cover 2 man, so you're going to have man coverage throughout, and you're going to have 2 deep safeties here. Dante Jackson is going to be the cornerback guarding him. Jackson is going to attempt to get physical with him and hold on to him. That's a terrible idea because Tillman is going to throw him directly on the ground, continue his route. And now, earlier, I was praising that as soon as he caught that slant against the Ravens and he turned straight upfield right at the free safety, went straight through him into the end zone. Sometimes that's not necessarily a good thing to seek out as much contact as possible. He is going to seek out contact after the catch. I do like that he turns upfield right away, but he is going to get flipped and he's going to lose the ball and going to fumble here. And so the net of the play is a negative in that he turned the ball over, but there definitely are some things to like about it. And so I'll show you what I mean. And so right here, he throws him on the ground, continues his route, catches the pass, heads straight upfield. I like that, but then he looks straight for the contact and gets the ball stripped. Now, the hit by the defender was right on the ball, so it's going to happen sometimes, but that is one of the dangers of seeking contact. But I really love how physical he is. In general, it's going to be a good thing to be physical. It's going to make defenders not want anything to do with you. And I really love how he just throws Dante Jackson to the ground once Jackson tries to hold him here. Really good physicality. Like I said, though, sometimes it's not the best idea to always be trying to seek as much contact as possible. And in this case, it was a net negative. But in general, I've been nothing but thoroughly impressed with his film. And so when we think about Cedric Tillman, he's 6'3", 213 pounds. And given that he ran a 4.54 40-yard dash and had 79th percentile speed based on his height and weight adjusted speed score, with a 79th percentile burst score, that's his vertical and broad jump, giving him a 70th percentile catch radius, that's somebody that is probably profiling as an X wide receiver, but could definitely be used as a big slot. Well, when we saw his utilization, he was used around 19% of the time from the slot and about 80% out wide. And what we saw from him on film absolutely supported that. Well, his advanced stats were right around middle of the pack in a lot of them, but we saw that he was very good after the catch with 9 missed tackles forced from week 7 to 12. Beautiful. And what we saw from him on film absolutely supported that. As soon as he got the ball in open space, he attacked. He went directly north, and he is one of the most aggressive yards after catch people I've seen in the sense of he seeks contact. We saw multiple times he was running straight at the nearest defender. And so when we looked at his utilization, he was used on a slant, a dig, a fade, a deep over. And so he was used all over the field, but he was mostly used as a deep threat. And so he does fill the vertical X role of Amari Cooper in this offense. His advanced stats were middle of the pack, a lot of them, but what I saw from him on film was very impressive. He's pretty good after the catch, especially considering his size. His utilization is good in terms of he has a big frame. He definitely has a solid build-up speed, and Jameis Winston isn't afraid to throw the ball anywhere, regardless as to whether you're open. And so I do think that Jameis Winston's fearlessness is absolutely helping him out. And in my opinion, Tillman is a slightly above average X wide receiver, but in my opinion, he is perfect for the role in which he's being asked to run. I do think that Jerry Jeudy is a wonderful complement as a flanker and slot as well. And so I think that both of them are absolutely symbiotic. And I think that in the future, as long as they don't draft a wide receiver with high draft capital, that he is here to stay. I do think he's going to get better. And like I said, I think he's a slightly above average X wide receiver at the NFL level. But what do you think? Do you think he's a little bit better than that? Do you think he's not quite that good? Let me know below in the comment section and let me know why. With that being said, if you like what you've seen and heard in this video, feel free to like and subscribe. It's a free and easy way to support the channel, and I'd really appreciate it. And if there's any other players in which you'd like to see, just let me know below in the comment section. Thanks.